Hey guys, welcome to the Office Podcast.
What's going on, folks?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Roz. I am actually a guest here, so it's my first time being here. We're here to talk about a few things. So it looks like we got a special brand of water here. We'll be going through that first. Flow. So we'll get into that and see what that's about. And then we got some tasty tea here. I'm sure you guys have probably all seen it before, but definitely
Snapple.
Yeah.
And this plastic.
You never heard of Snapple, right? Never.
Never.
We'll go ahead and review that.
We're gonna review Snapple.
We're gonna talk about Snapple because that's hot today, right?
Yeah.
So
let's get the water.
Yeah, let's open.
It. So what compelled you to get Flow of all the waters?
I saw this one blueberry flavor, and I'm like, I hate infused water. And then like, I saw like the non-infused one, and I was like, okay, let me try it, cause like, I'm lazy about my fucking bottled waters.
Okay, give me the glass. Oh my God. Okay, pour it on yourself.
He's bougie.
I'm bougie.
He pays for water. My man doesn't go to the
pay
sink.
For water.
He pays for water.
I buy my 20 pack.
Right.
Honestly, I refuse to pay for water, so...
Alright, well, let's see.
It tastes like regular water. It's kind of better. Maybe.
Interesting.
Maybe the point is that it's healthier because it's not in plastic.
Because it's in a box. And it's
in a box.
And you paid money for it.
I think that's how Europeans drink their water, right?
It's sad, because this was $3.
I have no idea. But, I mean, I guess it beats going to the sink, I guess, is what they market this as.
$4?
$3.
$3.
So they
You could have bought a 12-pack for that.
I bought a 24-pack for that, so... I mean, I got this for like, it's a
100% alkaline. What does that say? Alkaline.
Yeah, naturally alkaline
spring water. And it says, okay, what are they pushing here? Natural electrolytes and minerals. Okay.
So what they're pushing here is it's not plastic, so it's either recyclable or it's like compostable.
I see that.
Or some shit
they
like
got
that.
this. I don't know if you guys see that. They got the recyclable thing on here. The icon.
I just like it how on the bottom it says. Where it is? Only where faculties exist. That's hella funny.
Yeah, whatever the hell that means.
Right?
Certified B Corporation, whatever the hell that means. Right? But, I mean, you got some other stuff on here. Non-pet and BPA free. I have no idea what that means, guys. But yeah, I mean, I guess the bottle looks fancy and... somehow it's better than, running to the sink or running to the refrigerator and hitting that, that thing that gives you ice and water. So, I mean, what the hell, man? So it's like,
There.
Right.
Oh, toast? Can we have a toast? Can we be nice to each other?
Bougie clean.
To alkaline water.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers to water. So, I mean.
Hydration. Very important.
Hey,
Water, the purest thing ever.
Life is 80% water. Or all living organic matter consists of 80% water, meaning you, animals, plants, everything that's organic. Interesting fact of the day. So if you didn't know, now you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm like so bummed. Like now that I think about it, like if this came in a fucking 24-pack for like $4, yes, this would have been like cool. Because this like to me this does kind of taste better than the bottled water, like the plastic bottled water.
It tastes better than Dasani any day, but Dasani's crap.
Dasani. Isn't Dasani owned by Coke? I thought
Correct.
somebody
Correct.
or Pepsi.
Correct.
Is it Coke? Okay.
Correct.
And apparently it's probably like cancer causing or some shit.
Is
like,
it?
One of my bougie ex friends, she was like, Dasani, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. That's like literally walking cancer. Like
and it's not non-GMO and it's not grass-fed and organic.
Yeah, grass-fed water.
Yeah, you know that shit. Get out of here, that.
Yeah, but like,
it's not vegan.
What, are we eating a steak now?
Right.
Vegan water, that's
Vegan
hilarious.
water.
You guys ready for the fucking vegan tea?
Oh,
Ooh,
jeez.
yeah.
They're gonna have cancer watching. Yeah, because
with
that's not
other natural flavors.
But it's not non-GMO, so any vegan watching this, you're probably gonna have cancer.
Gluten free though.
It's gluten free, but you know, there's still genetically modified organisms in Snapple, I believe.
Definitely,
so, I don't know.
I don't know cancer right now. Shit.
Vegans are about to lose their shit. They're about to lose their shit. It's about to be like a vegan horror flick, you know.
Oh boy.
I've always wanted to make a.
You ready?
Yeah, let's try some. Well, yeah, we can put some.
Get rid of the fucking water.
Damn,
wow, I mean,
I'm an asshole.
No, who wants diluted tea?
I know, right?
Like,
pour a little bit because I'm
Just a
still
little.
fasted. Yeah, I don't want to break my fast. There you
Is
go.
that okay?
I mean, liquid.
Oh, that's perfect.
How does fasting work with liquids?
So in here, a certain amount of caloric intake will break your fast. So I believe Snapple tea. Holy fucking shit!
Is it like 300 calories?
No, there's like per bottle. There's like 160 calories.
Okay.
So this thing is. Yeah,
That's
this
like
thing is
20
loaded
calories.
with sugar. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, it
no
tastes
shit.
like sugar. Fucking pure.
So yeah, it's so here's the thing. Here's the thing about commercial tea. Well, here's the thing. Tea in America is not actually tea. So if you're watching this anywhere else internationally, tea here is basically juice. It's like, okay, so you have like traditional tea or even iced tea. It's not supposed to be like sweet. Like, I mean, this is practically like syrup in a bottle. So I mean, like I said, you're looking at the caloric content in here. I mean, you're talking about 160 calories per bottle. The majority of the nutrients in here are from the sugar. I mean, you're talking about sugar alone. I mean, because I'm looking at it, of course, it wouldn't be any fat. I mean, you got sodium, 10 milligrams. That's practically nothing. But I mean, out of everything that's in here that this consists of, it is 160 calories, and one serving is one bottle. So I mean, you're talking about just putting away pure sugar, you know, just drinking this. So, but I mean, they're not the only ones. I mean, Lipton Brisk. Lipton Brisk is the same thing. So, Arizona.
I love Arizona.
I love Arizona. Guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Is it really? Oh,
yeah. But I mean, it's like pure sugar. I mean, the base of those, like, you know, beverages are practically syrup, and then the rest is kind of like water. You know, that's kind of how they make these drinks. It's like, okay, syrup, water. So, but you know, if you're not someone that's crazy about, you know, like their well-being or health, or if you live in Texas, no
or
shit.
if you like drinking in moderation.
Or if
you
you're
live
me.
in Texas, you live in right. I'm talking shit over here, but I mean, hey, like this might be your drink. You know, if you're into like, you know, it's good. You know, it's good. It's sweet. It's got a nice flavor to it. You know, what is this? The peach flavor in particular. Yeah. So it's got a nice flavor. I mean,
I just like that they're not glass anymore.
Yeah, well, I guess they're trying to be more health conscious. That's kind of like the new wave. No, well, not health conscious, but environmentally friendly. That's kind of like the new wave. So, like, you know, made from natural materials, recyclable materials only, you know. So.
All right, so I'll give the tea 7.5, and I'll give the water a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. So, yeah, I'd say, do I think Flow is I would say yes, somewhere around that, you know, a 5 out of 10. Me in particular, I wouldn't run out and buy a product like Flow, but some of you might, because some of you really care about where you're getting your water from. If you want pure water, you know, like the most pure you can get it, I mean, I think this is probably a good source. You know, if you're someone that just kind of wants to beat, you know, getting their water out of the sink, or out of the refrigerator, or out of any other potentially contaminated source, you know, or if you live in Flint, right? Flint, Michigan, freaking, yeah, then this would be your way to go. But I mean, it's a good product. I think it's worthwhile, you know, so.
The name flows.
Flow. Yeah.
Flow.
What's water? What else could you call it?
Right?
But yeah, this is one of the best waters I've ever tasted. So, like,
really, best waters you have ever tasted.
I deserve a sponsorship because, like, yeah.
Better than Fiji?
Fiji. Fiji is not even like Fiji is just so hyped up.
It is.
It's overrated, you think?
It
Yeah,
is.
this has like a. I like the like. There's no. I guess it's because of the box, but like I had like
The box is a selling point.
I had
Smart water.
I had boxed
Yes, I
water,
know,
like
right?
the actual boxed water, and like I didn't really care for that because I felt like I can kind of taste the box, and I'm like, ew, that's gross. But like this flow boxed water, this is pretty good. So I'm gonna give it like maybe an 8.5.
Okay.
And since I'm petty, the Snapple gets like a 2 because like it's nothing. It's
A
nothing
2?
new.
That's the lowest
it's
ever.
Nothing. It's nothing I haven't tried before. I've been drinking this since I was like 8 years old. So like
I can kind of agree with you on
Yeah.
that. So, like, my rating for the Snapple, because I didn't even say earlier, I think I would probably give it maybe like, I'm probably going to be a little harsh, but maybe like a 4. That's only because I care about what I put inside of me. Too much sugar content, especially for something that's a tea. I mean, you're pushing a tea product. I mean, tea naturally just shouldn't have that much sugar in it, you know. And I mean, nowadays we live in the age where you can use sweetening alternatives. I mean, talking about 40 grams of sugar, that's it. You don't need that much sugar, especially for one serving. You're talking about that whole bottle. You know, if you're someone that cares about what they're putting inside of them, yeah,
It should be all of us.
well, yeah, ideally, but you know, I'm not the kind of person to push that on everyone. So it's like, okay, that's just something I care about. But I mean, like I said, you know, from my perspective, I think the tea, probably like a 4. I wouldn't run out and buy that product. Not me. But I mean, some of you might, because some of you might like to drink, you know, have a little bit of sweetness in your drink. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you're, you know, you want some flavor, you want some nice, you know, sugary drink, you know, I mean, that'll do it right there. I mean, you got a
It's
nice
healthier
sweet
than
tooth.
freaking soda or
No.
energy drinks.
False.
False?
See, this probably has just as much sugar. It's probably your typical soda, damn near.
But it won't give you a heart attack.
It won't give you, well, I mean, it's hard to say.
enough,
It's hard
I
to
guess.
say because I mean,
Lord.
both would be conducive into raising your cholesterol. Pretty sure. I mean, let's look up a can of pop. I mean, let's look up a can of Pepsi. Or how many fluid ounces are in here? 1 bottle. Okay, let's look up. I'm sure the bottles don't vary too much in what they contain. So let's look up a bottle. Pepsi. I'm gonna choose Pepsi. Pepsi
yeah,
nutrition.
it's the same
label.
company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my reception is garbage.
Oh wow.
But either way, that's my point. You know, my point
It's
is
about the
that
same.
it's practically. I mean, you're talking about if you're looking at what it contains, like as far as sugar content and things of that sort. You're not looking too much far off as maybe like your typical bottle of Fanta, or any of the really popular soda
Sodas.
beverages. Sprite, Coke, Pepsi,
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. You're probably looking at damn near pretty close sugar content. So, but like I said, if you guys like that, nice sugary punch, you want that extreme fruity flavor, I mean, I'd say it's good for that.
That diabetes.
Want to conquer that sweet tooth, there it is. Snapple peach tea. Snapple tea, peach flavor. So
Next.
drink with water, right? There you go.
To balance it out.
Yeah, balance it out. Right. So
I have my guest.
And then now is the quote of the day, which I've been waiting for. I didn't even mention that earlier. So, good quote of the day is act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. So, what do you think that means? Or I guess in your perspective, what do you kind of grasp from that?
How what you do matters.
So, yeah, like, okay, act as if what you do matters. It does. But I know, like, often, sometimes, people don't think that what they do matters, or they stop caring. Like,
Right, because it's small little things that maybe somebody wasn't grateful for you to do it, but at the same time you shouldn't expect people to be grateful or even notice or even know it for you to do it, and ultimately those actions stack up and it either makes your life positive or negative.
And that's interesting because, when I saw this quote, I was like, okay, well, that actually, if you really look at it in perspective, it's like, okay, well, because oftentimes you can go or you can just be out, doing your everyday business. I know some people aren't considerate. Like the other day, I went to a public restroom and one of the guys that washed their hands, right? I'm not paying attention to, guy taking a piss or anything like that. You do your do in the bathroom, but I noticed, and this actually happens a lot. I've actually noticed when he turned the water on, when he turned the faucet on, he went to go dry his hands and then walked out. He didn't even bother turning the water off. And I'm like, okay, that struck me a certain way because I'm like, okay, there's a shit ton of people here that do that and they don't even realize that there's other places around the world that will probably kill to have just readily available water. Most places around the world, I wouldn't say most, but a pretty significant number of places around the world just don't have that luxury of having running water. They can't just go to the store and buy Flow. They can't just freaking do that. So, this guy, he probably wasn't even thinking about it. But that's the thing. It's like, okay, some people get into the, the mindset is like, okay, well, if they waste food, I've heard that excuse is like, okay, well, I'm not there to give it to these starving children. But that doesn't make it any better. It's like, okay, well, some people just don't have the resources that you can just readily grab here. Or, as it says, act as if what you do matters. It does. So they think, oh, well, me throwing away my food, it doesn't matter. I'm not there to give it to them. Well, okay, fucktard. They don't have it, but no one wants to see you just sit here and throw, something that you don't want because you went and got too much, you ordered too much of it, and now you're just going to throw the rest away. Or, like the guy in the public restroom, you wash your hands and you didn't turn the water off. It's like, well, that little stuff like that matters. It really does. But, like I said, it doesn't cross their mind. So what do you take from that, So
well, when I think about that, I think like how I feel like I'm a very assertive person, but I also take people's feelings into account. And so I kind of have trouble like acting as if things that I do or say matters. And like I feel like I give people like the wrong idea. So I feel like to me that's like a confidence like booster, maybe. Yeah. That's
a good way to look at it. Yeah, you could look at it that way too.
And I definitely agree with you about
No, that's definitely a good way to look at it because on the flip side, I was kind of thinking about that too. It should really be looked at both. You could look at it as like confidence booster, like some juice to, get through your day or your week or whatever you're dealing with. And then at the same time, just be considerate, So, okay, what one person does can affect the next person. But I think the mass majority of people forget that they don't pay attention or they just stop giving a shit. And they're like, okay, well, I'm just going to throw this empty bottle on the ground. I don't care what animal chokes on it. It just doesn't make me no difference. So it's like, okay, well, it sure the hell did, because a kid choked on that. He picked it up and put it in his mouth when he shouldn't have, So they don't draw that line, that comparison. It's like, okay, well, But that's interesting. And if you guys are curious, this quote came from, I don't know, this is a random quote I found. It's called from goodhousekeeping.com. I'm not very familiar with the website.
It's a magazine.
It's a magazine.
Yeah.
It's a magazine. Okay, interesting.
But you can look up stuff up on Google, quotes of the day, and it'll pop up. So lots of different sources.
And did you have like anything else to like add?
We'll go on forever. I'll just say that like
really just draw that out forever.
Exactly. I just forget about the small little things that do affect everybody because I'm so caught up in my head about
right.
My own life and my own struggles that I forget. We have a drought. We're in a drought. Or I'm pretty good with food. Like I don't really like wasting my food. I much rather keep it for the next day or try and save it somehow, some way, because it's important to not waste food. But like you said, some people don't even get the choice of having that option. So
that's very true, and and that's a real thing. Some people just get caught up. some of us have like really busy lives, like myself. You know, some of us, especially depending on where you live and things like that. You know, some people are just freaking busy. We don't actually think about that stuff. You know, but then it's like, okay, if you really back away and look at it and like, oh well, shit, I didn't think about that. Let me start doing that.
But something personally that I struggle with, that I'm very guilty of doing, and I need to become better at. I fucking just throw my trash out. Like if I'm in a car or something and I'm too lazy to fucking throw it away. It's my earth. It's our earth. We have to take care of it. I'm guilty about doing that. I'm sorry. I'll try my hardest to be better at it. But that's something I'm guilty of.
Yeah, I struggle with that. It's like the first step is recognizing. It's like, okay, once you recognize, you're like, okay, now I can actually fix it, you know.
It's gonna take some time.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of crap. I'm like, okay, dude, you gotta freaking fix that, yo. Even myself, I'm like, gotta freaking fix, certain things. I think this quote definitely stood out in particular in that sort of manner, in that fashion. I was like, okay, that's pretty interesting. Because, it actually brings stuff into...
It's so deep.
brings stuff into perspective that you really didn't think about. If you really just kind of zoom back and like, oh, shit, I didn't think about that, so...
I'll be honest, also saving money or your fucking money. When I was young, I was just stupid about money.
How that affects yourself, right? Yeah, and maybe not the next person, but
shit.
Don't fuck
buying
yourself.
Buying stupid $10 coffees and just stupid shit that if I would have saved it, I would be so financially better. So everything you do in life matters, ultimately. Goes back to that quote. But I'll just shut up about it. But
no, I mean,
it's deep.
I got some stupid ass stories.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Anything else you want to add or?
No, I think we kind of covered that.
Got into the meat of things over here, so.
I wasn't gonna ask you this, Mr. Guest, but how do you feel about religion?
Okay, all right. This is a big one. Me in particular, I'm actually no longer religious. But now I say no longer because I actually grew up in the 90s. Especially, I'm gonna be honest, not to throw race in, but black families when I was growing up, and this is by tradition, but especially in the 90s, okay, you taught your kids God and Jesus and all, big whole thing. I'm not saying that I don't believe in something that created us, but in particular, well, it depends on which religion you're talking about. But I know Christianity is really kind of hounded into us. I know as of nowadays, you talk about anything past years past 2010, people are starting to kind of become more progressive and open up kind of. They're not really in that religious mind state as much anymore, but when I was younger, that was you are God, Jesus, all that. That was force fed to us, but the years we're living in now, it's okay, you can kind of open up a little bit, be more progressive, and start really, really delving in, looking at what do you really believe, okay, and start reasoning, okay, does that make sense? Things are like that. Now, I guess what I particularly believe in, I wouldn't say I have a religion. I guess the best way to describe my beliefs, or the way I think, is called deist. I'm not sure if you know what that is, but it's basically, deism is not supposed to be complex. It's real simple. It's okay, I recognize that something put us here, okay? The force, whatever you want to call it, God, orange, apple, whatever you want to call this, whatever that put us here. That's great. You can choose to appreciate it or not. That's good. I like to exist. I'm glad I exist. And I appreciate that. Now, as far as where you go, where you die, or what happens after you die, or any of that stuff is just, there's no way for us to know. It's not important to me because it's okay, no one has died and then been able to come back and tell you where they went after. It doesn't make sense. Or, you look at some of the biblical literature, it's okay, first off, there's some contradictories in there. I haven't actually gotten around to reading the whole Bible, but I know some of them flat out are kind of contradictory, you know. But I mean, no offense to anyone that's Christian. I mean, this is getting pretty deep, but I mean, I don't really look at that literature the same, and you know, some of the stuff in there is clearly, I believe, is fictional. I don't believe it ever happened. Now, if Jesus was a real person, I mean, we're talking about Christianity in particular. Jesus was a real person, but I mean, to say that he did what he did, I don't think so. But I mean, hey, I mean that falls, you know, like I said, that's really opinionated. So I mean, that can go many different ways, you know. Some people believe that Jesus he did walk on water, but I mean, in my personal experience, I've never seen anyone like a human break the laws of physics like that. I mean, I don't think anyone has lived long. I mean, that's never been a thing. I mean, if it was a thing, it would be like well documented. You have to realize the Bible, a very old book that's been translated many different times. Jesus himself as a person was illiterate, and the people that wrote about him were also very illiterate. So that's why you have to take some of these scriptures with a grain of salt. So that's my big thing about religion, Christianity in particular. Now, I guess is what I think about religion from a general stance. The general stance is like, if religion gets you by, there's no shame. I mean, like, if those are activities that really help you do them. You know, if you praying helps, doing all that. Actually, they've actually done studies that actually say like praying and doing all sorts of stuff. Actually, that contributes to like mental health and some physiological health. There's some research, but I'd have to pull it up. But there's actually some evidence, some research that has been done about that. But yeah, like, I'm not saying like, okay, drop your religion or, you know, stop believing in what you believe in. I'm just, you know, I don't push my beliefs on other people, and I think within like religious communities, it's like, okay, if someone else doesn't believe what you believe in, you have to push your beliefs on them. I know, you know, a lot of Muslims are adamant about what they believe, you know, but it would be wrong for a Muslim to try and push Christianity or, you know, Muslim beliefs on, you know, someone who's clearly Christian, or vice versa, because I see both. You know, I see a lot of religions push their beliefs on each other. So I'm like, okay, you don't have to do that. You can partake in your own religion, but you don't have to, you know, don't aggressively push your beliefs on someone. It's, you know, if you want to express your beliefs, that's fine, but to tell people that they have to believe in what you believe in, I think that's where the fault comes in. I think that's where things get explode pretty much. So I mean, I don't know, what are your guys' takes on that, you know? So.
Well, I guess since I was raised Christian, right?
You're right.
I guess like all of that is like very deep planned. I believe it, and like that's like what I choose to follow.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like as I get older, like there are like a lot of like I'm kind of like just a tiny bit into like New Age spirituality. Like there is like a little bit of tiny bit of fear in it, you know.
It's fair. What's your take on it? I mean,
I grew up fearing God.
Yeah,
I was a Catholic in my Catholic home. I was scared of God for a long time.
Oh yeah.
But I'll leave it at this.
Good way to put it.
I believe in God, and I pray I try to pray in the morning. I try to pray when I'm going through hard times, when I'm going through good times, throughout the day. I don't even need to, you know, say prayers or anything like that. It's just a conversation between God and I, as if, you know, it was another human being. So I'm a strong woman of God. But in terms of religion, I think religion is just another business. They're out for money. Honestly, that's what I believe. And that's what I came to terms with. But God, I'm all for it, if that makes sense.
No,
that makes perfect sense.
It does. I mean, that's really good. I mean, like, you know, I mean, there's books on religion. I mean, you can draw that topic out for like ever. But I mean, you know, money gouging techniques. I mean, seen that in the church growing up. You know, like tithes and offering. You never actually know where that money's going. But like I said, to the people that still worship or have their center of worship, I mean, not knocking you, not taking anything from you. I mean, and if it does what you want it to do, then yeah, absolutely. I recommend it, absolutely. But I mean, because I grew up God fearing too, and
and also,
but I think.
Sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I just think my perception of God as I gotten older changed. So it's not that I don't believe in God. It's not that I'm just atheist. I believe something put us here, like I said, a God or whatever you want to call it. But I think my view, the way I perceive that whatever put us here is kind of changed as I gotten older. So.
And you also got to remember that God is infinite and everywhere. So if we wanted to, we could pray right here. We don't have to be at a church and pray, or fellowship or whatever. So I feel like people have a strong conviction on Sundays to go to church because that's where God is. That's his home, which is true. But at the same time, you're in a building full of people and people suck. We're all sinners. Which is no different than here, in this house, in this apartment, or outside, or in your car, or wherever, because he's there, he's listening. He's listening to me now. So just think about that a little more, I guess.
And then also, I think human perception of God, I mean, you're talking about something that put us all here. I don't think we have the capacity to really fully fathom. I mean, you're talking about something that created everything that exists, like the laws of physics, everything that basically all reality. So, I mean, being whatever God is, I don't think we could actually fully understand. So, I know a lot of the time we associate him with these human-like traits. I feel like that's kind of hard to do because I'm like, that's what I was saying as I got older. Like my perception of God or creator, whatever you want to call him, or it, right? It. So, I mean, whatever you want to call it, has kind of changed because I'm like, okay, well, like you read certain literature, like the Bible says, do not worship any other God, for I'm a jealous God, but that's what I'm saying. I can't. That stuff doesn't really make sense to me because I'm like, okay, to create all this, clearly that type of force would be something above, human characteristics. I mean, for lack of a better term, right? So I mean,
I can add something that was that kind of an acknowledgement that other gods exist, which I'm not saying that I believe that, but like. Was he strictly talking about like idols or like other?
Yeah, basically just other gods or idols. I mean, and, that's the common perception is like, okay, do not you worship Muhammad only or do not. I mean that because if you're worshiping something else other than him, that technically is your God, right? If you're worshiping Muhammad, if you're looking at Muhammad as a god, so that's kind of what that literature was saying. It's like, okay, if you worship anything else other than me, I am a jealous God. But then I'm like, that's just one example. But like I said, that's hard for me to grasp because it's hard for me to attribute human-like traits to a force that put everything here. Okay, I don't see God is getting jealous, or I don't see God is getting angry. I don't see God as I don't see God as being able to love you, but when you make mistakes, put you in a pit of fire for eternity. I don't. Like if I love something, I'm not gonna send it somewhere to be tortured for eternity. It just doesn't make sense to me. So that's what I'm saying. It's hard for me to really attribute these characteristics of such to God. I'm like, okay, well, talking about being that put everything here, or being, we don't know what it is, but basically, the fact of the matter is something that put everything here, and then for it to be so human-like, I'm just like that. But that's natural, humans naturally want to know where they came from and do all that. That's fine, but I mean, and that's just a result of yeah, just people wanting to know where they come from, or what happens after they die, and so that's how religion is born. It's like, just people wanting to know. So
wanting
then
to
you
fit
come
in
up with all this stuff. Yeah,
and
come up with all this stuff.
Be a part of shit. Yeah.
So.
Enough of that. Sorry.
No, good topic. I mean, like I said, there's books on that. So I mean, crazy long books on that. So I mean, but that's an interesting one actually.
So you mentioned, well, maybe you haven't mentioned, but you're a fit guy, right?
Yeah, I am.
You like to work out. You care about your image.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go on a hike or something?
A hike? I actually never been hiking.
Oh shit!
But is there any good place to hike around here? I'm nowhere.
I mean, the only places I know are like Berkeley. Like I guess you can call them friends. They were like, "Oh yeah, let's go hiking one day." I'm like, "Sure," and then blah blah blah.
I'm good for a hike, yeah.
Or a walk, maybe a walk at a park.
Yeah, I'm good for a hike. I mean, I don't have any actual hiking gear. I know a lot of those hiking. Yeah, I know a lot of those. I mean, if you're crazy, if you're like a granola head, then I mean.
I'm hungry. I'm not a granola head. Right. I'm just hungry.
I have some over there.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys actually, they got the gear and stuff. I don't have any of that, but I'm down to walk or go, do anything.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah,
maybe we'll take the podcast to this hike.
Yeah.
Or this walk.
I personally have never been hiking. Have you been hiking before?
I have, but not in a while.
What would you say are like some good hiking spots?
We could try Berkeley. That's a mutual place, right?
Yeah, I've been in Berkeley.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do a hike vlog. So that does sound like really cool.
Don't you have that app that tells you like
vibe maps? Yeah.
Maybe we could do some research and.
Vibe Maps sponsor us because this is we're giving you some screen time, okay? Yeah.
Maybe next month.
Yeah. I mean, let's see what's going down.
Totally
Then,
even though August is a huge month for me, though, because I'm doing the film.
We can totally incorporate that. We can like find a way like for scenery reasons. Yeah.
Maybe some sneak peeks. Sneak peeks on there too about what we're doing.
Yeah. What's the next hot topic going to be about?
What do you mean? Like what that you want to talk about?
Are we still in the interview?
Yes. So I ask questions. Now you ask him something.
So what are your hobbies?
Oh, okay. Well, you already know. I like to work out. I like to draw. I like to play video games. I like to do guy stuff, a lot of guy shit.
Like cars and.
Not crazy about cars. I mean, it's a cool
what's guy
culture,
stuff?
But beer, pizza, video games.
Okay.
Fitness, that. I mean, general statement, but
I kind of meant to phrase it as like what's
so
your
you're a
passion?
gym bro?
No, I'm not a gym bro. I'm not obnoxious when I go to the gym.
All right, good. We could be friends.
So like what I mean is like what is your passion? Like if there's like one, this sounds so morbid, not morbid, but like if you can do like one thing for the rest of your life, like something that you were like good at, like what would it be?
Ooh man, that's a hard one.
Your number one thing, like
to draw, and I mean that would probably be number one, because that's something I've been doing since I was young. So.
Okay.
Are you good at it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. So.
Would you ever sell your artwork?
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually in the process of getting new utensils.
Wait, do you have like a Redbubble?
Huh?
Do you have like a Redbubble?
You know what? I don't. I ought to, because I've been looking around and but it's been I haven't drawn in a minute. It's been a while, especially since
So what can I personally do to help you? With that,
give me $1 million.
Well,
promotion. That's we can offer as promotion. Okay.
I can't give you $1 million yet.
No.
I am working on that myself. But I guess I could I can help you some way somehow.
Yeah, I mean we can always figure that out. I mean,
because I like bringing art people together.
Yeah,
this is what the podcast is all about.
Networking, doing all that stuff. I mean, that would be freaking dope. I mean, you know, it's been a minute since I've been drawing too. So I mean, you know, I've been doing school and all that fancy stuff. So I mean, once I get that out the way, once I actually have more time in a single day, I plan to start picking that back up. You know, I plan on, you know, using more budget to upgrade my utensils too. You know, because my weaponry right now is kind of pitiful. So, but you know.
Is the utensils expensive, or?
If you want quality art supplies, yes.
So it's like kind of mid-range.
Yeah.
Like depending on like. Yeah.
Well, it depends on what you get.
Yeah.
I mean, and who you buy from too is important. So I mean,
How
not
much?
cheap.
How much is the range that we're talking about?
I mean, that can vary. I mean, and it depends on what you're doing. I mean, like I said, art is very broad. I mean, hell, you can paint, you can draw.
Well, what
you
store
can
do you tend
photography.
to go to when you buy your art supplies?
I actually go online.
You go online?
I sometimes I'll go to an art store, but most of the time I know what brands I'm looking for. I go online.
So let's say you draw like some dope ass like pictures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 of them, and you're like, this is the best shit I ever done. Would you like go to like Berkeley or San Francisco and be like, somebody buy this? Like, would you like try and sell it?
Yeah, I mean, probably not exactly like that, but I mean, I would definitely. I mean, I am still trying to push my art name out there, you know, through my Instagram and crap like that. So I mean, I don't have much content on my Instagram right now, but that's due to change. But no, I do plan on putting a lot of stuff up there. You know, pushing a lot of my art and start really getting into that community more. Mm-hmm. So, something I like doing.
Would you be interested in working with me in a project? I don't have details or anything yet, but just
I mean,
as a partner of what I have going on now. You know,
you're right. If I knew more specifics, I mean, I'd be down.
We could talk after the podcast about specifics because they don't need to know.
No,
we just need to. We just need to create. We need to start the bubble. You know?
No
I mean, talking about it is one thing, but actually doing it—that's when the real passion comes in.
Really.
And that's where all of it follows through. You know.
No, I mean, I'd be down to really just kind of get in and start talking about it, you know, and see what's going on.
Because the more artists I have, the more things we could potentially revenue on and build, and then fucking pop up after that. Because you don't need agencies or anything like that. We just need ourselves. We need each other.
Really, I mean, you look at some of the most successful people out there. I mean, they got themselves.
They're independent.
Started, so,
yeah.
You know.
Everything is possible if you work on it and believe in it. And
That's
I'm putting
another
that to
quote
the
for
test.
today. So yeah,
I'm putting that to the test right now. I'm not gonna let not having money, not having enough talent, people's negativity get to me. I want to actually do something. I've been wanting to do something for over 10 years, and I have never been able to have people to believe in me till now.
Let's do something crazy, yeah. Pop off.
Manifest. Okay, so can you draw a little something for us?
Oh, jeez.
A little something?
Put me on the spot.
We'll put you on the spot, man.
All right.
This is what I'm all about.
A nice finisher. What do you want me to draw? What do you want me to
Just
draw?
Anything. Small, big.
Anything. You name it, I'll draw
This
it.
little snake.
Okay, all right. Well.
Oh, and I'm also accepting autographs, so like, yeah, if you need any autographs.
What do you mean? You're selling your autographs?
I'm being sarcastic. You know, like this whole facade I have.
Okay, that is all you guys.
I love it.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Auctioning starts at $2, you guys. If you want the snake.
No, I'm sorry. That's Picasso. You're paying a lot more than that. Get the hell out of here.
$20. I'm just kidding.
250 with my autograph signed onto it.
Oh yeah, sign it.
2 million.
2 million. Okay.
Sign that. We'll sell it.
Boom.
Okay.
Look
All
at
right.
that.
There you go.
As an
There you
honor
go.
of being the first guest, I want you to sign my wood,
Oh, your
my
wood.
little wood thingy,
Okay, all right.
my little wood board, my morning wood.
Not the wood. No, not the wood.
Oh, jeez.
Like every time you say wood, I'm like, oh no.
And lastly, question for me is, what would you want to tell the audience, or famous last words?
Famous last words. I'll draw this back to the quote. So, be considerate. Do your best you can do out there. Okay? And just be a fucking beast. So there you go.
First autograph of the show.
There you go. So.
Making history. And then you finish it off with the last question for him. And then we'll move to the next segment.
Well, I have no more questions.
You don't have? Come up with one. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No.
What was it?
Wait, let me see. I wanna steal somebody's question because like it's like a corny question. But if you were a food, what would you be?
Food?
Yeah. Don't say kale. Don't say whey protein.
Sushi.
Sushi.
Yes, I freaking love sushi.
Sushi. Wow.
That's sushi's a drug for me, man. But we'll save that one for another time, man.
The Lion King. Is that your favorite one?
Oh no, I've never even heard of that one. Because I know you go. It depends on which restaurant you go. They got so many different ones. I mean,
California roll though. That's
okay. That's the basic one. Right. I don't like California rolls because they're from California. I like authentic. Okay, like sushi, like sashimi, the actual rolls. You know, talk about California rolls. That's something that was born here. I actually like the.
What's your favorite spot?
Authentic stuff, yeah.
You know what? I haven't been anywhere in California.
You haven't?
In California.
You haven't?
Not since I've been here. So.
We need to find a spot.
But yeah, I know. That's hell. There's one over by where we work. So.
Oh yeah. We could go there.
I've been eyeballing that one. I've been like.
We can go there. We could go there. We could go there.
On a cheat day though.
Huh?
On a cheat day. When's
your cheat day?
So I got one booked this Friday, but I'm meeting with the fam. So.
Oh, okay.
We'll find one
next week.
I like to space them out though, because I'm on the.
Okay.
I'm on.
Well, you let us know, and we'll try. We'll go out. We'll go eat with you.
Go out.
All right.
Okay.
Freaking dope.
Who is this?
Spammers. nobody important.
Okay, because I was going to give them a talking to. Okay.
He's popular. Okay.
Probably trying to sell me some garbage that I don't care about. Or meet a call quota, because they work in a call center, and that's how those work. So, no one important, basically. So,
we all get the spam calls. We all do.
Telemarketers.
Yeah.
I thought that ended with home phones, but no, they get our phone number somehow.
It's a whole new, let's find out what's popular.
You guys want more tea?
No, I'm good.
Too bougie for that.
Then I'll kill it.
Kill it, smash it.
Couldn't be you. I don't think so. But yeah, so I've been looking into certain things that I might be interested in. So I found this magic shaving powder, and it's. Have you heard of Nair or Heat? Oh, okay. Nobody's heard of Nair. Okay.
Oh, Nair? I've heard of Nair.
Wow.
Nair. Aren't they just like a?
Yeah, it's like a
hair removal.
It's a chemical hair remover.
Yeah, we know what Nair is. Come on.
No, because I asked you this earlier. I'm like, how does nobody know what Nair is? So this is what the magic shaving powder looks like.
Oh, that stuff. I've seen that stuff.
Yeah. So this is what that looks like. Have you used it before?
I have.
Okay, so
it's for your body, right?
Yeah, hair, like face and body hair, right?
Yeah. I don't use that anymore. I just got clippers.
I feel like it's kind of worse in there. I heard it smells really bad.
Oh, it smells like shit.
Oh wow. So my fear is when you smear it onto your face, it's gonna give you that same burning sensation that Nair and Veet do. Well, I never tried Veet, but I tried Nair, and Nair it hurts like shit because
it burns the hair off your face.
It's chemical, right?
Yeah, it just burns the hair off your face.
So how is the magic shaving powder?
Isn't it wax technically?
It's not wax. It's like a cream. Well, it comes in different forms. So you can buy the powder, and I believe the powder you just add water to it and you stir it, and then you apply it. You know what? Really, those products are for people that don't really take well to shaving, or clippers. They just break out. Those products are popular with a lot of African Americans because we tend to, so it's like a typical a traditional razor, so shit on our skin because we get all these ingrown hairs. This is the way our hair is.
I hate that so much.
Our skin and hair just grow different. So those type of like conventional razors and stuff aren't really made for our hair or our skin. So we break out when we use them. We'll get like a bunch of these ingrown hairs. But you can find a nice pair of clippers to get around that. But also some clippers aren't really that good on your skin either, and they'll kind of cause the same thing. So they have products like that, that you put on your face or your wherever body part you're trying to get clean or shave or whatever, and then you apply it, leave it on for some minutes, and then it burns it off. Wipe it off with like a damp rag, it says. But yeah, it smells like horse shit. And
oh wow,
that's part of the reason I don't use it. Plus, I don't like the way. I mean, it's
an after smell.
Not an after smell, so you don't have to worry about that really, because I mean, once you get the damp rag, it'll kind of come off. But I don't know, it's not my thing, because when you apply, you have to apply it with your finger, and I like to really get in there with the clippers. I think with the cream, you leave, especially if you're trying to get like even facial hair. You don't want hair longer on this side versus. That's kind of a thing with that stuff. So if you're doing like a clean shave and you just want like all the hair gone, yeah, I mean that product works. But if you're just trying to, if you're trying to trim up your goatee or you want your mustache to be shaped a certain way, no, I wouldn't use that stuff. I would just say invest in a nice pair of clippers. Plenty out there. And
any recommendations?
I just go Belco. I got the Belco. I can't remember which pair. Belco 3 something, I believe. I don't know. I have to bring the manual, but
works for you.
Works for me. Gets the job done. Well, I'm kind of bearded up over here, but but
it's sexy.
That's why I like to roll.
I like it.
Yeah. That's what, I'm kind of rugged, but that's the way I roll.
It's what us girls like.
Yeah.
I would ask you to take your shirt off, but I think that would
be
inappropriate.
One day, one of these, I'll show you. One of these, I'll show you.
Huh? Hey, the ladies, we ladies.
One of these, I'll show you, but
not right now.
While things are still loading, while this is still initializing, we'll kind of.
I was also thinking about getting into aloe vera, which is like, I guess it's also for face and body. So like, I've been thinking about like using that, but I was like researching like aloe vera gel. So I've heard like they put like a lot of like, what is it called? A preservative, things like that. Yeah. So like I heard that's really good for shaving, like the actual aloe vera, not the gel.
Oh, aloe vera. Yeah. Well, preservatives are mainly just to extend the products, like to preserve,
Yeah, but they also put like, I think not chemicals, but like something else that makes it like not the best to use. Like like raw aloe vera is like healthier. But it just doesn't last as long.
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially with a lot of those products, they put a lot of crap in it that shouldn't be in there ultimately. So, but But yeah, I mean. Anything else you guys want to add? Any previews for the next topic or
previews for the next topic? So I was doing a movie review, and then if we have time, I also have a little story time, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I was watching Jennifer's Body. It's basically about this girl who gets like possessed by a demon. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but
I was watching a little bit of it.
Yeah, you saw a little bit of it. Like, what's your take on it?
It was okay.
It was so good. Like, oh my god. There's something about 2010 movies. Like, I was watching this one movie, Detention. It was so funny. And, like, it had the horror element as well.
I just feel like the horror... You hate him? I love him. But there's only so much you could do with it, and they're so corny sometimes. Why do you hate them?
I'm like, look, I'm not. When I watch a movie, I want to be entertained. I don't. The thing about horror flicks is, it's like some of that crap is depressing. Like you see somebody just get like ripped open, you're like, I don't want to freaking see that. It's like I don't like feeling that way. Like especially because with me, that stuff will mess with me some days after the fact. I'll be like, oh man, what the hell did I watch?
As in you won't be able to sleep, or?
I mean, I couldn't sleep. It's just like some of those, like, it'd be like, man, like that dude got really, like, gutted and ripped open, and then, I don't know, just...
You mean like it fucks with your head?
Or like kids dying. Yeah, you'll be like, oh, who thinks of that shit? So you're like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that kind of does.
Yeah, you know, it's like, you see, like, I mean, yeah, like kids dying or like getting cut open, and you're like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. Like when I watch a movie, or if I go, you know, to a theater, if I pay to watch it, or if I'm paying for a movie, if I want to watch a movie, it's because I want to be entertained, not because I want to feel depressed.
That's part of it, though.
What do you mean?
Part of watching a movie is it's gonna convey you to feel a certain way. That's part of the experience.
But how am I gonna feel? Is it a good feeling or is it a shitty feeling? That
it could be both.
That's what I'm saying. I like the idea is I want to feel good, like a good feeling, not a bad feeling.
Yeah, that's true. But some of the most amazing movies have made me cry.
Yeah, so those ones I can get down with. Okay, because those aren't like if it's like a drama, or like, okay, it depends. Like if it's, that has to be like a really good one though. Because even then, I'm not watching something to be sad. You know, right, so I don't want to be sad.
I mean, I do that.
Right,
I like movies just to be sad sometimes.
If it has too much action, I fall asleep to it. It's too much.
I love action movies. That's actually where I go. Actions and comedies.
We can't be friends then.
Yeah, so, but I mean, that's, you know.
But if a horror movie can be funny,
no.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Absolutely not.
That's the shit I write. That's the shit I write.
No. No. Absolutely not. I'm so good on that. She's bunk.
Dang. Finally met somebody who doesn't like horror.
Wow.
Hate it.
I mean...
Hate it. That hates horror.
About horror right now, like, it doesn't scare me as much as it used to. And, like, I'm kind of disappointed about that. But at the same time, I'm kind of relieved, maybe. But, like, when I watch a horror movie, I want to be scared. I don't want to, like say, like, wow.
I haven't been scared in a horror movie in a long time.
Yeah.
Just Hollywood itself, they just don't know what to come up with anymore.
So I kind of envy you. Which is, like, very, like, I guess that's, like, mean, I guess. But, like, yeah.
Don't envy me, bro. I'm a bitch. God, man.
I'm a bitch.
Yeah, man. Straight up. I'm like, if it's not...
Well, that's, like, that's kind of like a brave thing to say, I guess. It's like, I guess you're being honest, so like...
I mean, yeah, I'm being completely honest.
By a bitch, bro. You mean like picky or like...
I just don't like watching like scary shit, because I'm just like, it fucks with me. I'm like, I lose my shit literally.
Normally girls are the ones who are like, oh, I don't like it. It scares me.
Well, that's me.
It's kind of a stereotype, I guess.
It is, but it's just common also. I never really met a guy who's like, I don't like scary movies. You're like the first one, so.
Well, you and I can switch roles in, because that's me. Like, I'm freaking good on this. Like, this
so are you admitting that you're a sensitive dude?
It depends on sensitive. Like, okay, with that, yes, I'm sensitive.
Okay.
But like some other stuff, no.
What are you not sensitive about?
Working out, things I actually like to do.
You don't have to be sensitive about working out. Unless you're working out with other people.
Oh.
Then you kind of have to be sensitive. Because they're in different levels.
So, things I like to do. I'm like, I don't like to be scared and on the verge of pissing myself. So I'm alright, So good. So, hey, some people like that. Some people are totally, they're like, this is dope. Okay.
Have you ever been scared in real life? Like,
yeah.
Like,
hella
scared?
Like, oh shit. Yeah, I mean, everyone has, right?
Yeah.
I would think.
Not too much, honestly.
I mean, like, if you got like a big ass semi about to run you over, you're not gonna tell me that you're not scared.
Oh my god!
Like, if you're on the freeway and you got a freaking 18-wheeler that just freaking decides, I'm gonna cut this dude off, and you're like, no shit. Like, of course you're gonna jump.
Comment, like, subscribe.
Comment, like, subscribe.
Hit that notification bell too. while you're at it.
To stalk us.